everyone, and welcome to the Icehouse podcast. I'm Bryar Stewart, the community manager here, and it's an honour to be chatting to Rahui Corbett today, who is a partner and director and a chartered accountant at Morrison Creed. So thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. And today we are talking about her experience at the leadership development program that the Icehouse puts on. And to kick us off, we would love to hear explain to us the business that you work in and you're now a director in and your role.
Yeah, so Morrison Creed Advisory is a business advisory and an accounting firm based in Palmerston North, and we service pretty much the lower sort of North Island region across manufacturing, commercial, construction, investment, agri, all that sort of client base. My role within the business, I guess like a lot of small business owners, is quite varied. So if we go back, I started with the firm as just one of the accounting team, and that role's evolved and progressed through to a leadership role, and then most recently directorship.
Awesome.
So I guess the role's part supervisory, so supervising the team, a bit production back in the day, so being part of just the general ops and operation. Still a bit of direct client delivery, and particularly around relationships and deliverables, and then just general business roles. So, I mean, this morning it's all about recruitment going into the new year, so taking on that sort of stuff. Acquiring premises, all that sort of thing. So,
Awesome.
Varied from operational and leadership and managing a team, and then now also aspects of how to manage and run the business side of it.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot going on. That's really cool. How many years have you been at Morrison Creed?
So I've been at Morrison Creed coming up about 7 years.
Wow. Nice.
And prior to that, I was at another firm for about 7 years as well. Straight out of uni.
Lots of experience in the field, which is really cool. Why did you join the leadership development program? So for people that may not know, this is for key team and leaders inside of a business. So we've got our owner manager program, which is for the owner specifically, and this one is for the key leaders. So you went on that a wee while back now, and why did you join it in the first place?
Yeah, so exactly that actually. So I was in a leadership role, and I guess for me, I'm all about constant improvement. I think you can always get better, your team can always get better, and you as an individual can always get better. I wanted to develop my role in a leadership role, and also use those skills to then really grow the business that I knew I was really vested in. So, so it was more around me wanting to get a bit more personal growth in that leadership role for the business.
Yeah, great. Cool. So did you go to your boss at the time and sort of say, hey, I've seen this, or did someone come to you and go, we've been part of the Icehouse before, this is a good fit?
Yeah, well, I'd always actually heard about the Icehouse. I'd always known about the Icehouse program.
Yeah.
In general. I didn't know too much about what the details were.
Yeah.
And then I'd spoken to a couple of friends who had done it and had really awesome experiences in it, and really took out a lot of personal growth from it.
Awesome.
And for me, I was really looking for that personal growth in that leadership. And it's quite hard. So regional Palmy, we didn't have a lot of courses or online courses available. So you sort of knew you had to do something quite chunky to go and get what you wanted out of it.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Nice. So sum up your leadership development program in a couple sentences.
Yeah, so for me, it was quite honest and quite an insightful experience. You learned a lot about yourself, actually. So I think for me, the technical side of things and motivating teams, all that sort of things came with career. But where this experience led you as a leader is the insight into who you are, how you then know yourself to then know and motivate your team and then run and grow your business.
Yeah.
So it was very honest and insightful. And I learned a lot about myself as a person and a leader, what works well, what doesn't work well, and how to manage those sorts of things.
Awesome. So good. Yeah, well, on that, I get your keywords were honest and insightful, which is very cool. On that, what were some key learnings that you took from others in your group? So we always say that, some of the gold that's in our key programs like Owner Manager and Leadership Development is the time that you spend with the other people in your group for, long amounts of time. Was there anything that you learned from those in your cohort?
A ton of stuff.
That's awesome.
So I was saying to Bryar earlier that, you still have really good connections with the cohort that you go through. I think if we first sort of day and the pre-work, the homework around what you needed to get done before Icehouse, that gave you a taste of what was to come.
Yeah, cool.
But it gives you a really good opportunity just to take stock as to where things are at the moment, where the business could grow and where it could go, and where you can sort of push that and how to get there. Getting to the course was so eye-opening because you had an idea of what you thought was the way forward. And then, the best thing about the leadership development was actually just meeting a cohort of just like-minded individuals. So you're all there for the same purpose. You're all motivated. You're all really energized and excited people. And it was just great.
Yeah.
You actually learned a lot about what worked well for them in their own business. And the other great thing is that it's non-competing. So you go in with a whole host of other people. So all different industries.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and you learn from them. You've learned from them what worked well, be it from a staffing, working with the business owners, working within the team. You also learned a lot from them what didn't go quite so well and how they got themselves through it. And actually, one of the things that come to mind about what you've learned from other people is, so part of the program, you get a report into your character. So a report that tells you what motivates you, what stresses you, all that sort of stuff, a personality profile. Yeah. And so you're there. And we had such a great group. Our group was really open, honest. So we sat there and we're looking at it. And straight away you knew, right, I've got someone like you in my team. Can I have a look at yours so I can actually see what motivates you?
Yeah, brilliant.
Those kind of people. And vice versa. They're like, oh my gosh, I've got a person like you. Can I read yours? And like that, for instance, was invaluable. And learning from their perspective. Yeah,
that's really cool. And I love what you said about how, there's so many different industries in the one room, but you can actually still bounce off each other so well because so many, different businesses still handle and deal with the same things.
The industry thing wasn't even, it didn't really even matter. I think the fact is that everyone goes through the same leadership issues, the same type of business issues, same type of staffing issues, irrespective of what they do. So all of the concepts and the processes were just and it's so easy to discuss with everybody.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so from that, what changes did you make within the business since completing the program? You came back, you're all like, woo, let's go. Were there any changes that you do?
Yeah, so you definitely come back absolutely fizzing.
Cool.
And actually for me, it was taking a bit more of a step back as part of that leadership group. Slowing down a bit more and letting other people and realising that other people need the time to get on board with the concepts and on board with the ideas and processes. So a bit of step back and slow down. A big part of the leadership development program for me I loved was the learning around high performing teams and how to create a really awesome team culture. So we work here in teams for us. So the change for me, has been around really creating the focus on that internal engagement. So how do we create engagement internally, which then transmits out to the business and then out to the customers and all that sort of thing. So a big focus on strengthening and developing and empowering the team internally. So things like implementing whole team meetings, for example, and we've now got a traffic light system, what we do well, what we need to do better, and what we need to stop. So holding those quite regularly is just one of the examples of the things that we've brought back immediately.
Awesome. That's so great. That's really cool. really practical too. So it's not just, sort of here, but, hard to implement. It's really practical and easy to get your team on board, would you say?
Yeah, and there's so many easy, really low-hanging fruit ideas that you can actually come back to your business and put in place straight away. It's not all about these big, grand, strategic ideas. There are just some little tweaks and little things that you can do differently almost instantly when you get back. And I found those sorts of things made a really lasting and positive impact, and it brought it back, and it just keeps that energy alive.
So good. That's so great. Okay, so was there any, you said you quite like the personal side of it. Was there anything from a lifestyle perspective that you changed, which then led you to becoming a better leader?
I was already quite into reading and developing and that whole concept around constant improvement, but it just really got me thinking to broaden my horizons a little bit more and go out there and just read and learn from other people, learn from different people, different industries. I guess historically I would have been quite specific to the business industry, but reading, sports leadership books have been great, and learning different things that motivate them. So that's been a big thing for me. The other thing that the LDP program sort of makes you take stock of is actually really hammering home the importance of just taking stock and resting, giving ourselves a chance to connect and have that balance going right. And I actually think lockdown and COVID as well brought that to light.
Yeah.
So the big thing, I guess, to take, we often focus on the health and wellness of our businesses and of our staff. And too often we sort of put ourselves at the bottom of the pile. The LDP program had awesome session on resilience and on communication, and just really hammered home the importance of doing that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Nice. Leading from that, what's one thing 2020 taught you that you're taking into 2021? Obviously, last year, flipped everything on its head and changed the way we worked, how we thought about life. Was there anything that sort of went, okay, even though it's been a hard year, I want to bring something into 2021 from it?
Yeah, I think so. I pondered on this question a little bit. And originally I thought, you just don't sweat the small stuff, or that's, focus on things that matter, things that you can control, and do those really well. But then actually, the more I thought about it, I thought it was so incredible how quickly we learned and adapt and changed the way we did business and the way we worked and how we evolved with COVID happening.
Awesome.
So to me, actually, the main thing is taking those things that we did do really quickly and we changed and we made our businesses so much better. Find those good things and really bring those into 21 and keep doing those good things.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's crazy that COVID actually fast-tracked so many things.
Totally.
That we're like, oh wow, we should have be thinking like this anyway, which is pretty cool. Yeah,
and we've made all these improvements now to all our businesses and what we're doing. I guess the challenge for me and what I think people really need to learn from that is then how do we take these and keep that momentum going and keep moving forward with all those good things that we did learn.
Yeah, awesome. That's super cool. Okay, what piece of advice would you give an employee who's stepping into a leadership position this year? I think that's quite an exciting one.
Yeah, and again, I thought about this one quite a bit as well. And to me, I think the big thing would be being told to be the leader that you would want to be led by.
Awesome. Great. That's some gold.
And it's quite as simple as that, I think.
Yeah, so true. So much gold right there. Cool. It's amazing. To finish us off, we would love to know something interesting about you. Tell us an interesting fact about yourself.
Okay, so I was thinking about this, and if I didn't get into business, I would have been a chef. Actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and it goes right back to it was fourth form back in my day, but it's year 10. And it was a year 10 cooking classes, and loved it, absolutely loved it. And that was where I was going to be a chef, so I had this amazing restaurant, all that sort of thing.
Wow.
And into the business side of things from that point on.
Yeah.
But had that not been for a specific teacher, I would have probably been a chef.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Do you do a lot of cooking and baking in your own time?
I still like to think I am quite the chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually part of my downtime.
Awesome.
Doing that.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's cool. You know that it's part of your downtime and how you sort of reset and relax. That's cool. Nice. Well, thank you so much. I feel like that was really great insight into our leadership development program, what you can expect if you were to jump on it, and some really cool changes that you've implemented and sort of lifestyle learnings as well. So thank you, Rahui. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.